Today we will continue where we stopped last Sunday as we focus our attention again on the subject, the best way to predict the future is to create it. Say that with me. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Say it one more time. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Remember a number of proverbs I shared with you, Yoruba proverbs here last Sunday. Bale bati mari oro lati mo. Ojú tí ò bá ní dalẹ́ kì í tàárọ̀ ṣepin. Ọmọ tí ò bá jẹ́ àṣàmú àti kékeré ni yóò ti máa ṣẹnu ṣámú. The best way to predict the future is to create it. You will also recall that I said the word create in that topic is used loosely because only God Almighty within the context of the Bible is a creator. He is a creator of heaven and the earth. And no one can match him. No one can match his creative abilities and dimensions. But because he created us in his image and after his likeness, he has also endowed us with creative abilities. So open that Bible. I've marked it already. To Exodus 35. Begin to read from me from verse 30. I actually need verse 32 there, but I want them to hear because I was looking for the New Living Translation proper. Exodus 35, 30 to 35. Read.
And Moses told them, the Lord has chosen Bezalel, son of Uri, grandson of Hur, of the tribe of Judah. The Lord has filled Bezalel with the Spirit of God.
The Lord has filled them with the Spirit of God.
Giving him great wisdom.
Given him great wisdom.
Intelligence.
And
skill in all kinds of crafts.
And skills in all kinds of crafts. Who gave it to him? God. Who gave him the spirit of wisdom? God. He calls it great wisdom. Okay? Wisdom also has level. That's why your tailor is different from mine. Do you understand me? That does not make my tailor better or greater, but I don't patronize your tailor. You patronize your tailor because you like what he sews for you, and I like what mine sews for me. So in Buba and Shokoto, I have Agbada. Do you understand me? Because this jacket is for Agbada. But I know if I wear this Agbada before I finish, I've done many of them like that, it will go. So I combine. You want to know my tailor? He will not sew it for you. He's patented. And your tailor can go and copy it. You'll be a copycat. You get copyright, you have to come to me. Read on.
Verse 32. He is able to create beautiful objects from gold.
You see, that's the difference between your NLT. He is able to create. Read it.
He is able to create
beautiful objects from gold, silver, and
bronze.
He is able to create. Now, I told you our own creative dimensions. God created many things out of nothing. But we create things from what he has created. Do you get it? That's the difference between him and us. He spoke and they were created. And we take out of what he has created, we create things that never existed before. On a Regu Road, there was no citadel many years ago. But it's now being created. Do you understand me? And you know how we met this warehouse. It wasn't like this. But with creative abilities, we transformed it into an auditorium. Okay? So if you really want to predict your future, then create it. In addition, I also stated last Sunday that when you discover your purpose in life, there is still a hidden purpose within that purpose. And if you don't discover the hidden purpose within your purpose, you will think it's all about you. That the reason God gave you that purpose is so that you can become a superstar. David did not know he was a king. His father did not tell him when he was born that you are a prince, you are going to become a king. His father was not a prince. There have been no royalty amongst his ancestors. No one called royal king or queen. I'm talking personally from the family of Jesse. Jesse had 8 sons. David was the last. Until Samuel showed up, because God in 1 Samuel 16 said, I have provided for myself a king among these sons. God can make you a king when there is no prince or princess in your lineage. And you better believe that, because the first king of England was not a prince. You can go check it. The first king or the first queen in any town, the first one, either by conquest or by influence or by acceptance of the people. Do you understand me? Okay. Go ask the Kabiyesi in your village or in your hometown to trace the first Kabiyesi and see whether he was a king. Shodeke led the Egbas to Abeokuta in 1830. I don't want to go to your field, sir. It was called Okwadagba. There was no king in Abeokuta at that time. He was the one who brought them in. And traditionally he said, look, I cannot be fighting wars and at the same time be presiding. Take that one and let him be presiding over such matters. And he, the warrior and the generalissimo, died without ever wearing a crown. At the time they were trying to, anyway, I'm not going to our history this morning. I don't want to do Professor Shiwaju's work. Because they know. You understand? Interpret for your neighbor. Samuel showed up and said, there is a king here. Mr. Jesse lined up the first 7 sons. Each of them was refused. From the first to the 7th, that Samuel had to ask, am I in the wrong house? They said, no. Is this Jesse's house? He said, I'm Jesse. Are all these your sons? He said, there is still one. But it's with the sheep. He said, we will not sit down until he comes. David found his purpose that day. In the midst of his brethren, he was anointed king. Say with me, Kubagira. I can't hear you. Kubagira. Ongbogbo toluwa yo ṣe fún mi, kubagira. Ẹtúngbe o, kubagira. Mi ò gbọ́ o, kubagira. Ongbogbo toluwa yo ṣe fún mi, kubagira. He was not invited to the anointing service. Just as Solomon was sitting at home when Adonijah invited all the princes and declared himself king. He did not invite Solomon, but Solomon became the king. Kubagira. Etungbeo, kubagira. Ongbogbo toluwa yo ṣe fún mi, kubagira. Thank you. Interpret for those who don't know. Tell them I said kubagra. Kubagra. So what is kubagra? Okay. By means of strength shall no man prevail. Yes, the race is not to the swift, the battle is not to the strong. Do you understand me? Okay. If the battle is to the strong, Goliath should have won over David. I stated you must know the purpose within your purpose. Right in the midst of his brethren was anointed king, but there was a purpose within the purpose, which many don't know who are in government and who are in power today. They think they were just elected to be president, elected to be governor, elected to be, or selected to be minister. Therefore, it is their turn. Stupid. First Chronicles chapter 14. First Chronicles chapter 14. Now Hiram, king of Tyre, sent messengers to David and cedar trees with masons and carpenters to build him a house. Look, he did not live in Saul's palace. He needed a palace of his own. It was a king of Tyre that sent all the masons and the building materials that David deserved a befitting palace. It was inside that palace that David said, I am living in a house of cedar. The ark of the covenant of the God of Israel is living in between tents. I will build God a house. You see, he allowed his soul to delight in abundance. There was no dime in his hand. Check your record. 2 Samuel chapter 7, 2 Samuel chapter 8. He had no money to build that house, but he delighted in the Lord. If God could bless me this way to be living in a house of cedar, God deserved much more. Then the conquest after conquest after conquest after conquest came, that he had all the resources to do it. When we stepped out in faith, we didn't know how God would build a citadel. The totality of what we had cannot even cover interest. We have 500 million, that was all. But he was in a meeting with me, with Pastor Bella, Mrs. Bia, and everyone with the contractors yesterday. When we faced them, you were there too. I said the total budget for this contract was 10.8 billion. We have paid you 9.3 billion, so shut up. God who provided that will do the rest. Amen. When you step out in faith and trust God, there's no amount of money big enough to dent his account. So it was when that king came to build this house for him, in 1 Chronicles chapter 14 verse 2, that he discovered the purpose within his purpose. 1 Chronicles 14:2. So David knew. Give it to me in King James Version. It's more juicy. It's more juicy. David perceived for the first time. And David perceived that the Lord had confirmed him king over Israel, for his kingdom was lifted up on high. Your excellency, are you hearing me? Commander-in-chief, governor, are you hearing? Your kingdom is lifted because of his people, Israel. That's the purpose within the purpose. It's not about you, David. It's not about you, David. It's not about you, Your Excellency, Mr. Governor, because your 8 years or 4 years will soon go. And you become X this and X that. You won't be there forever. Obato jechi lutoro, oloko, obato jechi luotoro, oloko, oruko when you anyone will be your legacy. He perceived that God exalted his kingdom on high for the sake of his people, Israel. Pastors do not know there is purpose within purpose. They're called into ministry. I'm pastor. Don't you know me? Anybody that says, don't you know me, is a nobody. When they start beating their chest, don't you know who is talking? You are a nobody. You don't need to beat your chest for them to know who you are. What is the purpose of this ascension gift that Jesus gave? Is it for them to be Lord over his church? 1 Peter chapter 5 said, don't be Lord over the church. There's a reason, a purpose within the purpose. A reason, a purpose within the call. Give me Ephesians chapter 4.
Yes, sir.
Ephesians chapter 4. So when we are talking about politicians, let's talk about ourselves too. Let's look inward. God has no right to fix the nation if he has not fixed his own nation. This is the holy nation. God has no right to judge the world if he's not dealing accordingly with his own church. Ephesians chapter 4 verse number 1. I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you to walk how? Worthy of the calling with which you were called. There's a way to walk on worthy of that call. With all lowliness and gentleness, with long suffering, bearing one another in love, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. There is? Oh, I thought the Catholics are different from the Baptists. I thought the Baptists are different from the Anglicans. I thought the Anglicans are different from the rest. From who again? From Foursquare. And Foursquare is different from Presbyterian. And Presbyterian is different from household of God. And household of faith is different from Lateran. Lateran is different from... No, there is one body. When you don't realize that you fight among yourself, Satan does not need to do anything.
Yes, sir.
Because you're already doing his job.
Yes, sir.
There is one body and one spirit, just you are called in one hope of your calling, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. That's why I say stretch your hands and pray for me. God is in you too. I have no monopoly of anointing. I have no monopoly of his presence. I need your prayer as much as you need mine. But to each one of us, grace was given according to the measure of Christ's gift. Therefore, it says, when he ascended on high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts to men. Nowadays, he ascended. What does it mean by that? He also first descended into the lower parts of the earth. He who descended is also the one who ascended far above where? All the heavens, that he might fill all things. Okay? Read with me. And he himself gave some. Are they all apostles? He gave some. Are they all prophets? He gave some. Are they all evangelists? He gave some. Pastors. Are they all pastors and teachers? I'm a pastor. I'm a teacher. I'm an evangelist. I'm an apostle. For what purpose? For the keeping of the saints. For their work of ministry. The church is not supposed to be a spectator event where you all sit and stare. You are a stakeholder. The purpose of the ascension gift is to equip you so that we can all come together. You don't get it. Let's read. Till we all come, till we all, the fivefold and those who are not folded, till we all come to the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, to a perfect man, to a measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ. So there is purpose within purpose. Paul the apostle understood that. He said, I want to apprehend why I was apprehended. Philippians chapter 3, he was going about his business on the road to Damascus to waste the church, to destroy it. That was his passion. And he was doing it with everything he got. And then he was arrested on the road to Damascus. And he said, well, God, we need to understand something here. I thank you for saving me, but why did you save me? If you don't know why he saved you, you'll just be singing, thank you for saving me. Thank you, my Lord. Thank you for saving me. Then you put it in Yoruba gear. Oh, sheun to gba mi la. Oh, sheun o. Why did he save you? Can you imagine Esther becoming the queen, not understanding the purpose? If Mordecai was not there to tell him, for such a time as this, you are brought into the kingdom. And if you refuse to help, help will come from other sources, but you and your father's house will perish even inside the palace. Philippians 3, verse 12 to 15. Philippians 3, 12 to 15. Not that I've already attained, or I'm already perfected, but I press on that I may lay hold of that for we Christ Jesus has also laid hold of me. I want to apprehend why I was apprehended. I want to apprehend why God gave me the opportunity and fill me with skill to do the things I'm doing. I want to understand there's a reason behind the reason. God has a hidden purpose for my life. I need to locate it. If anything causes divorce and broken home and broken relationships in marriage, it's destiny clash. When you don't know your purpose and she doesn't know her purpose and you just are attracted by externalities, when your purpose begin to call, you will discover. Do you know it got so bad that Zipporah said to Moses, a bloody husband thou art with me. He just left. He left. It was Zipporah's father that eventually took Zipporah and his two sons and they went to look for him where he was and said, I Jethro, your father-in-law, had come with your wife and your 2 sons. Destiny has a way of separating you from the pack. When husbands and wives are not on the same page, in no time they will go their different ways. Do you understand? But if 2 of you shall agree as touching any, it's a blank check given by God to mankind. If 2 of you shall agree as touching anything on this earth, our Father in heaven, my Father in heaven will give it to you. The last submission I made last Sunday is that what you see in people who have attained significant level of success, what you see is determined by what you don't see. What you see in people who have attained significant level of success is determined by what you don't see. I just introduced Prof to you. I said, oh, a legendary scholar, a foremost historian, an academic of excellence. Sir, that's what we see. But what produced that thing? Primary school, secondary school, first university, first degree, master's, PhD, and research upon research upon research upon research. Nobody sees those things. What this is, Professor Ashwaju is here. Good morning, God bless you. This is Professor Ashwaju. What you see is determined by the things you don't see. Therefore, take it or leave it, except you understand the undergirding forces of purpose, priority, and productivity, your progress cannot be evident. What you see in people is productivity, but undergirding productivity is purpose and priority. Let's look at 1 Samuel chapter 16 as I continue with the message. 1 Samuel chapter 16, 11 to 19. 1 Samuel 16, 11 to 19. This is about David again. And someone said to Jesse, are all the young men here? And he said, there remains yet the youngest, and there he is keeping what? I can't hear you. There he is keeping the sheep. Pay attention. How was he introduced? A shepherd, a sheepkeeper. There he is keeping the sheep. Okay, that is what he's seeing. All right, let's read further. And someone said to Jesse, send and bring him, for we will not sit down till he comes here. So he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy with bright eyes and good looking. And the Lord said, arise, anoint him, for this is the one. Then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brothers. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon David from that day forward. So Samuel arose and went to Ramah. All right. But power had changed hands. But the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and a distressing spirit from the Lord troubled him. And Saul's servant said to him, surely a distressing spirit from God is troubling you. Which means this is the kind of spirit you can't cast out. Call the most anointed. Because God allowed it to be so. That's why it's only things that are bound in heaven that you can bind on earth. It's only things that are loosened in heaven that you can loose on earth. If you just rush into deliverance ministry without understanding that, by the time devil slap you, return home. Let's read on. Let our master now command your servants who are before you to seek out a man who is a skillful player on the harp. And it shall be that he will play with his hand when the distressing spirit from God is upon you, and you shall be well. So Saul said to his servants, provide me now a man who can play well and bring him to me. Who are they looking for? A man who can play well that will be brought to the king. Who are they looking for? A man who can play. Play what? They have very skillfully, very well. That's who they were looking for. Who did they introduce? Who did Jesse introduce? A shepherd. There he is with the sheep. That's what they see. All right, let's now hear what one of the servants said. Then one of the servants answered and said, look, I have seen a son of Jesse, the Bethlehemite. Number one, who is skillful in playing. Number two, a mighty man of valor. Number three, a man of war. He had not joined the army. He was not in the army. A man of war. Number four, prudent in speech. Number five, handsome person. And number six, the Lord is with him. Hello, was that seen by his father? Oh, somebody talk to me. Those things were not lying dormant because others have seen it. Do you understand me? Familiarity breeds content. His brothers did not regard him to be anything. His father said, here he is with the sheep. Let's read further. You will understand when I get there. Therefore Saul sent messengers to Jesse and said, send me your son David, who is with the sheep. That's the way the father saw him. But others have, you do not know what catapults people into power. You don't know who is listening. You don't know who is watching. You don't know what they are saying. And one day somebody will drop your name somewhere. Oh, no, you don't understand. This is how it happens. You don't have to struggle for it. Somebody will just whisper in the ear of the king, I have found. What is seen? And the people who are extremely successful is determined by the things you don't see. I'll give you a practical example. Have you watched the film Titanic? Titanic, you watched it? Yes, did you watch it?
Yes, sir.
What destroyed Titanic? Iceberg. Was the captain one? Yes. The ship owner, the builder who built, what did he say? He said, even God cannot sink this. And so, you had iceberg waiting for the Titanic. But all they can see is at the surface. You don't get it. They can see the tip of the iceberg, but what will wreck the Titanic is beneath the water level that you cannot see. And it's so powerful that it sank the Titanic. That's negative. Look at it, the positive. I stand before you and minister. Do you know how long it takes? Do you know how hours of study involved? It's okay to say, oh, that guy is multi-talented. That guy is really blessed. That guy is an orator or a what? We will sit like this and be talking about it. Something will drop. I say, something just dropped in my spirit. I run. I may not come back until 6 hours after. I'm not trying to impress you. But what you see is determined by what you don't see. Input will determine output in life. Garbage in, garbage out. Let's go on. If you compare verse 19 with verse 11 that we read, is with the sheep, is his identity. But other things were there that the man had been working on privately that nobody knew anything about. So when he took the challenge and stood there and said, Who is this uncircumcised Philistine? He was already a man of war, but not in the army of man. And when you read the Psalms, it says, God trained my hands to battle and my fingers to war. I can leap through a wall. I can jump over a fence. All those training were given by God in the wilderness to David when nobody was paying attention. The most productive people in life start with purpose. The most productive people in life start with purpose. They use purpose like a compass. They allow their purpose to be the guiding force in determining their priority that eventually drives their actions. Productive people start with purpose. They let their purpose determine their priority. And their priority will influence their productivity. P plus P equals P. Purpose plus priority equals productivity. The more productive people are, the more purpose and priority are pushing and driving them. The more productive people are, the more purpose and priority are pushing and driving them. This is the meaning of what David said to Eliab when he said, I know the naughtiness of your heart. I know you have come to spy the battle. Why are you here? No, his father sent him to deliver groceries to his brothers. He was just obedient to his father. And do you know what he did? When we get there, you'll find out. He left the few sheep with the keeper of the sheep. He didn't just abandon them and say, Dad has sent me on errands. Whether a lion comes or a bear comes, I don't care. No, he left. In fact, several times in 1 Samuel 17, the Bible says he left Saul to go back to Jerusalem to feed his father's flock. What takes you to the top will have to sustain you there. If you abandon one rung of the ladder, when you are coming back, you know how difficult it is. Do you understand me? Okay. I want to focus on a little tiny point this afternoon. You only experience breakthrough when opportunity meets preparation. You only experience breakthrough in life when opportunity meets preparation. That is to say, your productivity and profit rate in life is attainable through purpose-driven priority. If you don't set your priority and prepare yourself, if I can para, when you are in examination hall and you are looking at the ceiling, answers are not written there. Tell me if you have not looked at the ceiling in the exam hall. The question is for you, you know. Ask my classmates in college, they will tell you the truth. You will never find me studying all night. Never. I studied daily. I asked questions. By 10 p.m., I'd gone in. You were there with me. And it was during exam, I wore my best suits to the exam hall. Why? I had prepared. That's when you will see, I don't want to mention their name. They are twin stick, middle of the night. They are reading. They don't want to sleep. They put their legs inside water. They raw coffee. What did you do all time long? All session long? You are patching around. I knew that I calculated to the last kobo the amount I would spend in the university. I could not afford to fail. I asked questions. They looked stupid, but I got answers. I studied daily. Examination day. I would never forget a classmate of mine. I will not mention his name so that he doesn't sue me. I don't know what was wrong with him. I think it was our second year. He had studied, he had taken Dexa? Dexa? Was it Dexa they call it? The one that will not let them sleep. It's not Nescape. You, Nescape. I'm sure you went to University of Calabar. If can I show you the photo that is running out? Oh God, let's. In the exam, I just got up. The guy ran mad. They had to arrest him to take him to the clinic. I'm not kidding. He was hitting a glass. That's what happens to you when you put the car before the horse. And yet, I had time for extracurricular activity. I was a member of the Z Club. Z Club, we called it. And some of my classmates, I won't mention their names because they are hearing. They repeated a year. They came from rich homes. I came from poverty. You understand me? Because to fail a class is to drop out. Because I calculated to the last kobo. The reason I took part in Ali Must Go was because they increased from 30 to 90 naira. 3 meals a day. We no go pay, we no go pay. Extra cup. I joined because I knew all that I'd saved was about to go. But you see, at the same time, I was working with Ganifayemi. I was still a student when I went to his chambers to start helping me with his law report. And so when the day came at the Court of Appeal, when I qualified, I was 21 days old at the bar. My boss asked me to go and take date from the Court of Appeal here in Lagos. I stood before the 3 judges. I'd like to take a date. They said, no, your chambers are taking 1 day, 2 days. Today we are hearing the case. My oga was abroad. So we will step it down for 3 hours. Hey, I went down to the library in the court. The years of preparation, the years that had been helping him to do the law reporting came to the fore. I was able to locate this case, locate that case, and I stood before them. The man who was on the other side was my senior many years. My 21 days old at the bar, I won my first Court of Appeal case. Why? Preparation. Preparation. Oh, Shagilogbe. Oh, Togurolofa. Oh, what did you okay? Ofeniro. I want to be like Pastor Adeboye. Can you fast? Can you fast till your back will blend with your stomach? Sometimes when he had fasted in those days, this is how Baba will be going in the campground. Can you fast? I want to be like Brother Kumuyi. Oh, I'll tell you the story of a man who went to T.D. Jakes. He said, oh, Brother T.D. Jakes, I'm so blessed by your ministry. I'm so wonderful. I want you to pray that I will be like you. He said, Okay, so let's pray. Lord, let him be homeless. Lord, in Jesus' name, let him be sleeping in his car, not knowing where the next meal will come from. He said, no, that's not what I want. He said, oh, that's what produced T.D. Jakes. What you see in people that are significantly successful is determined by what you don't see. So the courage you see displayed by David when he saw Goliath is determined by what you do not see. And he gave the testimony when he attacked the lion, when he attacked the bear. He said, the God who delivered me from the paw of the lion and from the paw of the bear, he would deliver me from this uncircumcised Philistine and deliver him into my hand. Do you understand this? His father did not know he had a lion killer in the house. But it was while he was attending the sheep. His father did not know he had a bear killer in the house. The guy was not going around and saying, hey guys, today was tough. A bear came. No! Kept it to himself until it was time to testify. Here is my take. on this subject. And I hope it will be your takeaway this afternoon. Amen. Productive people are profitable people. Unproductive people are unprofitable people. Productive people are profitable people, and unproductive people are unprofitable people. This is why the most productive people receive the greatest rewards from their businesses. The most productive receive the greatest rewards from their businesses. Look at Matthew chapter 25. I gave you a couple of definitions and I bring the message to a close. Matthew 25 from verse 14. Matthew 25 verse 14. For the kingdom of heaven is like a man traveling to a far country and called his own servants and deliver his goods to them. And to one he gave, I can't hear you. To one he gave 5 talents, to another he gave 2, to another 1. To each according to his own ability, and immediately he went on a journey. Then he who had received the 5 talents went and traded with them and made another 5 talents. Likewise, he who had received 2 gained 2 more also. But he who had received 1 went and dug in the ground and hid his Lord's money. After a long time, the Lord of those servants came and settled accounts with them. So he who had received 5 talents came and brought 5 other talents, saying, Lord, you delivered to me 5 talents. Look, I've gained 5 more talents besides them. That is the minimum required. Is, Lord, you saved me, but through me 5 others have been saved. If you cannot say that, you're encumbering the ground. You're encumbering the ground. His Lord said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You are faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord. He also who had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, you delivered to me 2 talents. Look, I've been envious of the man with 5 talents, so I didn't do anything with my 2. That's what is killing many people. How can God give him 5 and me just 2? Is he not the same God? Am I not created just like him? Instead of trading with the 2, he's envious of the 5. But this man didn't. He traded with 2. God is not going to hold you accountable for what he has not given you. Look, I've gained 2 more talents besides them. His Lord said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I'll make you ruler over many things. Enter into the joy of your Lord. Measure for measure. I'll make you ruler over many things. I'll make you ruler over many things. Here comes the last person. The unproductive, unfruitful, time waster. Then he who had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew you to be a hard man, reaping where you have not sown, and gathering where you have not scattered seed. I know you. This is my perception of you. I know you are a hard man. I know you to be a very difficult person. It's difficult to please you. That's the reason you're not using your talent. You're a big idiot. It's called idiot. I'm not saying it's idiot. And I was afraid and went and hid your talent in the ground. Look, there you have what is yours. And listen to him. But his Lord answered and said to him, you wicked and lazy servant. You knew that I reap where I have not sown and gather where I have not scattered seed. So you ought to have deposited my money with the bankers. And at my coming, I would have received back my own with interest. Therefore, take the talent from him and give him to him who has. That's why the cycle of poverty is you cannot save because you cannot invest, and you cannot invest because you cannot save. And from him, even the little you have will be taken away. You know, to him who has more, more will be given. Because those who are productive get much more in life than lazy, pot belly, not you, lazy, pot belly, pepper soup joint. beer drinking, chatting away their life. I qualified in 1981. I had classmates or university mates who were called to the bar together. Do you understand me? They were all around. Yaba, no, not Yaba. Ikeja here. Caught doing charge and bail. And they were making good money. You remember? They were making good money. You will not see their bibs to be white, it's brown. You just put it on that money. And once they do one charge and bail or two per day, they get 3,000, they get less, they go to the joint. Barista, barista. We don't know the difference between them and Anyude. And then one after the other, they started buying cars. But they were used to that only. And one of them said, Gani is a taskmaster. Gani for him is a slave driver. How much is he paying you? Do you know my salary? 400 naira. Do you know how much Chief Rotimi Williams paid me a month? 510. But I waited to study, to learn the rudiments of the law. And when the day came, I entered into court with Tunde, Bakare and co. The first fee I earned was 25,000 naira. That was the beginning. Preparation will meet opportunity and create breakthrough. Do you understand me? Why are you in a mission in a hurry? You don't want to learn the ropes. You just want to be CEO. Your company will crash in no time. Those who diligently wait to learn the ropes are always better than those who are in a mission in a hurry. Do you get this point? Yes, okay. Be saying yes, sir. Let me quickly define three things for you. I've been harping on it since last Sunday. Purpose, priority, and productivity. It is said that the shortest route between 2 points or 2 ends is what? It's a straight line. Did you study mathematics?
I was a science student.
Huh?
I was a science student.
You were a science student, so you know that the shortest route between 2 points is a straight line. Okay, good. If you know that, if you apply that to life, the shortest route between where you are and where you are going or need to be is finding your purpose. The shortest route between where you are and where you need to be or where you desire to be is finding your purpose. What then is purpose? Purpose is the straightest path to power. Purpose is the straightest path to power. I'll repeat. Purpose is the straightest path to power and the ultimate source of personal strength. Purpose is the straightest path to power and the ultimate source of personal strength, namely the strength of conviction and the strength to persevere. Purpose is the straightest path to power and the ultimate source of personal strength, namely strength of conviction and strength to persevere. I'll go further. The prescription for extraordinary results in life is knowing what matters to you. The prescription for extraordinary results in life is knowing what matters to you and taking daily doses of actions in alignment with what matters most to you. Taking daily doses of actions in alignment with what matters to you. Let me break it further down. When you have a definite purpose for your life, clarity comes faster. When you have a definite purpose for your life, clarity comes faster. And that will produce more conviction in your direction When you have a definite purpose for your life, clarity comes faster. And that leads to more conviction in your direction, which in turn leads to faster decision. Let me break it down. With purpose comes clarity. Is that clear?
Yes.
Once you know your purpose, clarity comes to you. Look, in 1975, I was offered admission at the University of Ife. I turned it down. You know why? They offered me GPE, Government, Philosophy, Economics, Combined Honors. I knew what I wanted to study was law. And they said, well, I can change. I said, who will pay the money for the first year? Somebody whose fees was being paid then couldn't afford that luxury. I saved to the last kobo, calculated it to the last penny. Do you understand me? It was to be 1,000 per year. So I saved 4,000. And when they did a lemon go and it increased, I had to go to London. Thank God for Amnesty International. I had to go to London to go and be washing plates at Hilton Hotel to earn £12 per night. That was how I saved for my wig and gown. And I bought some law books and returned to Nigeria. And if you had seen me at the law school, you would think my father just dropped me in a Mercedes-Benz that morning. I bought some from where's this place in London now? Oh, no, not any of those places. Those are highbrow. Romford. From Romford, I bought 3 shirts for £10. They were nice shirts. When I would wear them and put bow tie like this, come on, my friends would say, people like, what's his name now? Is Cyril Ogbekene. There's another one who's on SEN now. Taiwo Shigbeton. They say, oh, dressed to kill. I mean, I was well dressed, but the shirt was 3 for £10. Who cared? Ask Auntie Adeyonyi. The day I was going for the bad dinner, Uncle saw me and said, ha, the way you dress, nobody will know you need help. You think Mrs. B fell in love for nothing? I was well dressed, and by His grace, I have command of English language. Man, I wore a facade of supreme self-confidence. I had nothing in my pocket, but I had hope in my future. Do you understand this? You can't see me and rub it. Who will believe when they will enter my room in the university? They will see red carpet, they will see television, they will see refrigerator, but they did not know I was going to Oasis Hotel in the night to wash plates. And the woman I was washing plates for in his hotel called Oasis Hotel, came here for my 40th birthday. He said, I did not even know he was an undergraduate. They went to interview. I said, I knew he was washing plates, but I didn't know the guy will come and just, and we pay him, he will go back. That's why I can't stand lazy people around me. I can't stand lazy drones. I can't stand them, whether they are male or female, young or old. They are companions of robbers. When you have purpose, clarity comes. I didn't take that offer from Unifair. And when Unilag, when I did my A levels in 9 months and I had what was necessary, I submitted it to my teacher at Ibaila Aro, extramural classes, Professor Jide Oshuntoku. It was Professor Jide. No. How did I meet Professor Jide? Your husband, Terry Agbelemoge, gave me note to Professor Jide Oshuntoku, who is your relation. Okay? I got my papers to Professor Julius Ntoko. He said, wow, this is wonderful. He handed me over to Professor, Abiola Ojo, constitutional law expert, investor. He said, oh, this is nice. Your records are good. I didn't know anybody who will help me. You must meet people who lift you up. God will guide you. Purpose will bring clarity to you. Clarity is power. You are no longer confounded. You are no longer confused. God is not the author of confusion. You know where you are going. Nobody can tell you to go read GPE when you know you are going to read law. Do you understand? I'm not saying GPE is wrong. GP may be good for somebody else's destiny, not mine. Do you get my point? I'm not trying to show off. I show you everything, the good, the bad, the ugly. Did you wash plates when you were in university? Where did you wash it? Somebody was paying your school fees. I'll go to wash plates in the night when they were doing disco. So I had television, remote control. I had red carpet. I mean, all my friends said, we can't even believe your story. Except that we are living witnesses of what what brought about the dramatic change. With purpose comes clarity. With clarity comes conviction. You're convinced beyond any reasonable doubt. Fully persuaded. Conviction instead of confusion. And with conviction comes divine direction. I'm laying it bare today. Purpose, clarity, conviction, direction. And guess what? Once clarity, conviction, and direction are in place, then it's easier for you to make decisions. Once you make your decision, because you have gone through the process, best choices are beckoning to you. And what follow best choices? Best experiences in life. Because your decision-making process will not be wishy-washy. The moment you err in vision, you will stumble in judgment and you go from evil to evil. But when you don't err in vision, you do not stumble in judgment, you go from glory to glory. You need to go back to the drawing board and say, where did I miss it? Now listen, all I've said is so sweet, it's so wonderful. But the path of life is not always like that. Because you are going to meet Saul, if your name is David. And he's going to be envious of you and will be ready to kill you. This is why priority must undergird you when that begins. Do you understand me? Look at what happened to David. Saul was looking for him to kill. On Wednesday, you will hear more about this. How he tried to turn his son Jonathan against him, his wife Michal against him. But God sent other people to help him.
Oh, yes.
In this season of life, you will meet destiny helpers. Yes. Men who will pull you up. Yes. And not men who will pull you down. Amen. In the name of Jesus. Amen. Do you know what kept David on? He was convinced he was king. He knew he did not ask for it. He was fully persuaded he was on the right. And God was on his side. Therefore, he persevered. Purpose provides the ultimate glue that can help you stick to the path that you have set. Purpose provides the ultimate glue that will help you stick to the path that you have set. And guess what? Whenever what you do match what your purpose is, you will experience productivity. You will experience it. Listen, for how long have I been saying to you, my destiny is intertwined with that of Nigeria? The first message I preached in this all in 1989, I will reach my goal, I'll fulfill my destiny. And I kept on telling you, did I look for Bishop, I said Bishop Muhammadu Buhari. Amen. Somebody say amen. Okay. Who knows what God can do? We never can tell. Maybe that's why we met. I didn't look for him. Destiny beckons. When the fullness of time will come, when you have been prepared, what others are looking for will look for you where you are. That's why you must pull yourself by the bootstraps. Do your best. Pray if you have to. Fast if you have to. Study if you have to. But get ready, because you do not start practicing on the day you are facing Goliath. You must understand your purpose. You must allow your purpose to set your priority. You know, I just can't stand time wasters. I can't. I don't hang around them. I don't joke with them. They can't come near me. I resist them. If somebody is coming to me and is not adding value, what is he doing? He's subtracting. He's wasting my time. And we need to be nice to people. Nice is not a fruit of the Spirit. Goodness is, nice is not. So he's a nice man. Or nice man, nice bobo. Yes, we need people's shoulders to lean on. That's true. But then don't turn me to your God. I can't solve all your problems. But I can give you the tools. The moment you have purpose, you see clarity. It's clear. It determines where you go, what you do, and how you carry out your life. You cannot find me in a disco hall, because you could not find me in a disco hall. I'm not saying disco hall is evil. I just don't go to where everything is dark. You can't. Why? I know my purpose. Ask Mrs. B. When I met her, I said, sit down and let me sit down. I'm proposing marriage, but I want to know where you have been and who you are and what you have done, in case there's anything in your life that will affect where I'm going. So that I don't get there now, afraid, breaking news, and you are disqualified. As far back as 1982, I started, let's know where you are coming from. Don't buy a pig in the poke. Investigate before you invest. When you are driven by purpose, it will help you set your priority. Baba Jasko was my schoolmate. Baba Jasko's mother, if it's money, she could buy my mother and me. Baba Jasko will come to school. Baba Jasko will do everything. My mother said, they are not going anywhere. I said, Mama, where I'm going? He said, it's far. And when you return, you meet them where they are. I wrote it in a book. That's why I call her the woman who saw the future. Valuable lessons my mother taught me. One day I was here. I can't remember who was with me, I was here. They said at the reception that your classmate is looking for you. They said, Baba Ajasko. I said, Ajasko. I said, when I got out, it was like, he said, Emilio Gan was talking me for. I'm not joking. Emilio Gan was talking me for. Emi Baba Ajasko. Monique work any pastor. Pastor for me income into my law for me. And I stood there and said, my mother saw you. Look at how many time wasters you are hanging around. They are not going anywhere They are parasites on your little income to ensure that they will reduce you to their level. Do you know it's in the Bible? A ruthless man retains riches, is what the Bible says. And a virtuous woman retains honor. A ruthless man retains riches. What does it mean to be ruthless? To be firm with yourself, not be emotional. If I don't help him now, this is where Mrs. B is different. Oh, you can be a brother and a sister and a conqueror and a... Where you are. I say, imagine. I say, no, I've done my best. Let him go and walk also. He who shall not walk. You got all the appendages you have attached yourself in the name of family. Oh, gee, you want a fireball? I'm compassionate. I give. But guess what? If I see that the person is not making any head with me, you'll be all right. Do you understand me? Purpose. Once you understand your purpose, you need to set your priority. What is priority? Let me first give you this free of charge. Purpose without priority is powerless. Purpose without priority is powerless. Those who live by priority understand the role of effective planning. And can I tell you what planning is? Oh, this will bless your soul. You want to hear it? What do I call priority? Those who understand priority knows about what? Effective planning. What is that? It is bringing the future into the present so that you can do something about it now. Planning is bringing the future into the present so that you can do something about it when? Now. Planning is what? Bringing the future into the present and doing something about it now. That's where you are going, is in the future. You bring it here and begin to plan how to get there. I called for of my friends to sit with me in 1972. I wrote my life plan and I said by 1984 latest I'll be married. Because I'll live 2 years to do this, I'll live 2 years to do that, I'll need 2 years to do this, and by 1984 I'll be married. So when all my friends were getting married, and I was their best man 7 times, I did not marry. Why? I set a goal for myself. And when I got married, see her. Just take a look. I'm not kidding, take a look. I told you what one of them said to me. He said, yes, I agree. Your children will call me Bodasale, but your children and my children will not go to the same school. The word priority is from the Latin word prior, P-R-I-O-R, prior, which means first. Simply put, if something mattered most, that is priority. Yes. If something mattered most, that is priority. You see now why you cannot say you have priority except you set clear goals. So ask your neighbor, what is your highest? What is your highest, top, most important, or main priority? What is your highest, what is your top, what is your most important priority in life? And if you have none, it means you have not even started living. That's the problem. You want to sit in church and hide under prayer meeting with no priority? You become a prayer warrior. You'll be worried to death, and worry will influence what you are praying about. No goals, no future plan, expecting God to do what He wants you to do. It doesn't work that way. Make up your mind to live with purpose and live by priority. You cannot take me away from my set priority. You understand?
Yes, sir.
The one who gets the brunt most of the time is my wife, that you go through. You try to say, help me do this, help me do that, help me tell pastor this. She knows as I'm busy. Let them wait. When I finish what I'm doing, whatever time I have left, I will attend to that. I cannot love you without loving myself. The Bible says, love your neighbor. So what is the measure of the love I have for my neighbor? The way I love myself. But many of you hate yourself. You know what it means to lóyún to fiditore? Explain to him. You are pregnant, but the outlet through which the baby will come, you have donated to another person to use. How are you going to deliver the dream, the vision of God in your belly? When I first got married, my brother, the one you know, he sent 2 of his children to come and live with me. I'm not joking, my brother. Bababado. He sent 2 of his children, they came. They said, we should live with you. I said, live with me. I didn't live with your father. I can't afford it now. Go back to him. It was hard. It was harsh. I was earning 600, 710 naira. My wife and I are adding the little we have. Now you want to add that load to me. I didn't live with you. Did I live with you? No. I said, go back to your father. When the time came, I took them all. 7 or 8 children, father and mother. Took them all in one day and brought them to Lagos and gave them a place. And bought him a car. I said, now I'm ready to help.
Yes, sir.
At the time you were asking me to help you, pull me down. Because I didn't have enough. Many of you are dying from emotional things and blackmail that you think me of is because community sent you to school. Community did not send me to school. And yet I give scholarships. I give out of abundance. Do you understand me? Oh. For God so loved the world that he gave his only because, is that true? Huh? Is it true? Okay, who gave his begotten son first, God or Abraham? Hebrews 11:17 said, give me Hebrews 11:17. When he took him to Mount Moriah, that was what he was doing. He was giving his only begotten son to God. So God had to respond. It's called, draw nigh unto me, and I will draw nigh unto you. Before the windows of heaven were opened and the flood came, the fountains of the deep were broken. The fountain lifted up the ark before heaven opened. God is smarter than you think. Let me go to productivity. Productivity is not about being a workhorse. Productivity is not about keeping busy or burning the midnight oil just for burning's sake. Productivity is more about priorities, planning, and fiercely protecting your time. Productivity is not about being a workhorse or keeping busy or burning the midnight oil just for burning's sake. It is more about priorities, about planning, about fiercely protecting your time. Productive action transforms life. There's nobody in this audience who does not know that we are always doing something. Elvis, you're always doing something. Elder, you're always doing something. Director, you're always doing something. Apostle, you're always doing something. What question we need to ask is, what you are doing, is it enhancing your productivity, or you are just doing something to while away time? You're always doing something. Now you are sitting. Now I'm standing. Now I'm talking. Now you are listening. We are doing something. But if what I'm doing does not lead to productivity, I'm a time waster. So I sit every day and protect my time. You can't, look, where's Stephen? Stephen, somebody came home and he said I gave him 1 o'clock appointment and he came before 1. What did you tell him? You said he will not attend to you before that 1. Oh. Just sit down. And I was busy in my study. Was I sleeping? No, I was busy. One on the door that said hello. I said, on the sobe, no. He said, they said so that you not come until 1. I decided to come early. No, you'll be eating to my own time. I gave you 1. Do you understand me? I wanted to say, hey, you abandon what you are doing. That's how you spend your life. You have time to go and wirebe. I hope I'm making sense to you. The critical question is not whether you'll be doing something. It is, what is this something that you'll be doing? I will ask one question and I bring the message to a close. If everyone in this room has the same amount of time, and yet some earn more than others, can we then say that is how we use our time that determines the money we make? Hello? I'll ask my question again. If everyone in this room has the same amount of time, and some earn more than others, are they earning more than others because of the productive way they have used their own time? Sir, a young lecturer cannot earn the same salary as professor. But they are both working in the university. Where are you working? University. Where am I working? University. Equal pay? No way. There's not equal pay. The one that does a donkey job in the bank, they are cashier balancing everything. Do they earn as much as manager? But you see, the manager or the CEO had learned some things that involve his thinking to chart a vision and a mission for the company, and that's the value that is being paid for the hour that he shows up and the donkey hours that you put in. If time is money, how you spend your time is how you receive your money, and how you spend your money is how you spend your time. If time is money, do you get my point? You just look into your checkbook, see how you spend your money, and then put the hours you put into it to make that money, then you see how you're spending your life. Wow. It's as simple as ABC. Generosity is not the same thing as stupidity. I'm leaving you with 3 words today. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Number 1, live with purpose. Number 2, live by priority. And number 3, live for productivity. Say that with me. Live with purpose. Live by priority. And live for productivity. If you do that, in no time your progress will be evident to all. Just make up your mind. Change the way you live. What do you place the greatest importance on in your life? If productivity comes from the actions that you take, what do you place as most important to you? What are those things? I meet several people from walks of life. I'm listening to everyone. I do not waste my time. I will tell you no, and I shut it straight away. Go and use your own brain too. Do you know when I used to counsel here, people don't like coming for my counsel. They prefer the pastors. You know why they don't like my counseling? Can I tell you? Here's a counseling session. I'm seated on my chair, and the person comes in. I say, oh, you're welcome. Me, chairman, what don't shame me? I don't know what's wrong with me. Please, get up. If you don't know, I cannot know. Please, next. The first question I ask them is, what is the problem? If you say, I don't know, I say, when you know, you can return. If you don't know your problem and you're coming for counseling, I should figure out, I'm not, I don't know the problem. I should know your problem. And when the person says, this is the problem, I ask them that question. What is the solution to this problem? I don't know, that's why I'm here. Okay, go and get this tape, that tape. While you're in church when I preach them, go and listen to them. The solutions are there. When you have listened to them, you can come back. It means you are just wasting your time when you are listening to it. You are not a doer of the word. And when they say, I know the solution, okay? I say, what can your pastor do about that solution that you cannot do? Your pastor can pray, only God can answer. Most people just want you to rubber stamp their reckless living, their reckless lifestyle, just to say, don't worry, we are praying for you. I don't pray for such people. I waste my time. Pray for such a, Orinanle Okoribo, a fire brigade. No, it's simple. It's simple. Ma fire brigade. Fire brigade, you go lock with me and say fire brigade. I am not your prayer contractor. Yes, sir. My job is to teach you how to pray. They said to Jesus, teach us to pray. As John the Baptist taught his disciples. Do you understand me? My job is not everybody that comes, oh yeah, let us pray. You have used others and finished them. I'm not the next on the line. Do you understand me? I will teach you. I will let you know what I do. I will expect you to do it, and we'll get the same result. Because God is no respecter of persons. When you follow his principles, you get his results. If there is no purpose, you cannot even begin to think about priority. Then forget productivity. Look at the way you have lived your life up till now. I'm making about turn and say, I want to examine myself thoroughly. This friend, this person, that person, what are they doing to me? Are they draining my energy? Or are they boosting my energy? Are they encouraging me? Or are they bringing guilt to my life? Let me stop commercial also. I'll keep quiet here. Go home and lock yourself up. And revisit your life. And address critical issues of purpose. If you don't know it, cry unto God to show you your purpose. And set your priorities right. Your priorities that you set will determine the type of people you hang around or you allow to hang around you. And then when your productivity begins to manifest, be careful so that you don't invite destroyers, wasters. The Bible has a name for them. What's the name for it? Devourers. When they step into your life, they dry you up. Like the raven, they will not leave until they suck life out of you. They will not walk, but they will drain you. No. Iron sharpens iron. So when iron is sharpening iron, there must be sparks. Those are relationships you keep. Because they push you to go further. They go the extra mile. You like what you see in them. You cannot choose your parents. You can choose your role models. Stand to your feet. Choose your role models. Lift up your hands to heaven. Don't live a reckless life. Live a reckless, unproductive life. Don't hang around time wasters and losers. Jetsam and flotsams of society. Don't hang around them. And those who will challenge you, those who influence you to go further, to go higher, to do more. And when you are productive and it's evident to all, you can then begin to bless others and encourage them to do what you have done. Instead of giving them fish to eat, teach them how to fish. Lift up your hands to heaven. Father, in the name of Jesus, thank you for everyone under the sound of my voice today, by live stream in South Africa, in Calgary, all parts of the world right now, and those who are in this world, Lord, I pray that they will be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving themselves, that nothing they have heard today will stand against them in the day of judgment, that every one of them will discover purpose, they will set priorities, and they will become productive. In Jesus' mighty name I pray. And the people said, Praise the Lord.